Hey everyone, Fire here, and the Twink guides are finally back. For those of you who are unaware, for the past year or so, I've been maintaining a Hollow Palm Twink guide. This Twink guide is the only way myself and many others are able to even do the campaign in under 3 hours. And today, after about a week of work, I've finished overhauling all of the PoBs and the shopping list that goes along with this. Each PoB now comes with a standardized notes section that contains almost no changes except a little warning that most of the classes have down the bottom that draws your attention to the things that differ from the other PoBs. These PoBs also come with equipment sets now so that you can see what you should be wearing at various points throughout the campaign. The equipment sets are as follows. To start off with Act 1, this shows you what you should be doing prior to obtaining Hollow Palm. Act 2 shows you what you should be wearing after obtaining Hollow Palm. Act 3 shows you how your equipment changes upon equipping jewelry, and then the Act 5/6 to 10 shows you all of the changes that you're going to make through the latter half of the campaign, such as equipping Hinakora's sight as an amulet, and the Nomad belt. Finally, there is now a dedicated mapping equipment set that shows you how your gear should look if you're choosing to take this character beyond the campaign. A lot of you have been asking for this. In particular, you want to be able to level through breachstones or through maps because you want to respec at a higher level, and that's what I've done. So you can see now we're going to be equipping Fractal Thoughts as our helm. We're going to equip a rare craftable body armor since Brisk Rep with off-colors is hard to obtain. Garakon's Flight for our boots, and then I think pretty much everything else is the same. As was the case previously, the PoB also shows your progression throughout the campaign. As you can see down here with the drop-down menu, we have End of Act 1, End of Act 2, End of Act 3, End of Act 5, End of Act 10, and then finally a mapping tree that shows you all the way to level 85 in most cases. I personally wouldn't recommend going to level 85. If you want to go anywhere beyond level 75, I would recommend just taking this character to level 75 using the PoB here, and then just using 5 ways to get the rest of the way. I've provided updated PoBs for all 7 classes. They are quite different, so I recommend making sure that you're pulling the correct one, and then having a look through it to see how it might differ from the other classes. These are one-size-fits-all PoBs, so they're not guaranteed to be exactly along the lines of what you personally want, and they might need some tweaking depending on which ascendancy choices you've made, but these trees should do you pretty good if you aren't confident with PoB. You can just copy this as it is, and you're pretty much guaranteed to have a good time. I've personally tested all 7 of them, and I've had some other people test them prior to releasing them to the public, so I can give you my personal guarantee that these have all been tested, and they've all done pretty well. The shopping list has been updated too. The way this works quite simply is that you identify which piece you need, you just copy it into an address bar, and then you'll be able to purchase the item that it lists. So in this case, the Silver Branch takes you straight to the trade site. You can just purchase the entire thing really quickly through the shopping list, and the shopping list is sorted out by all of the gear that you want to be wearing in Act 1, all of the gear that you want to be wearing for the rest of the campaign, and then finally at the end we have all of the changes you need to make for mapping. Now, this does include a few options, so you might want to use a 50% increased damage Tabula Rasa, you might want to use a crafted 6-link, or a Brisk Rep with off-colors, though I wouldn't recommend this since there's only one at the market when I am making the video, and it's very expensive. Down the bottom also is a list of the various anoints that you want for the various amulets that you're going to be using as part of this Twink guide. Once you've acquired all of the items as part of the shopping list, I recommend taking a character that's already at the endgame, going to Lily, and simply buying level 1 versions of all the gems listed here. Once you've done that, you can then transfer them over to a stash tab, and then repick them up on your Twink character. These are all the gems you're going to need, and knowing that you have all of them on you at the time that you make the character means you don't have to worry about taking any quest rewards, you don't have to browse any shops or anything, you have everything ready to go right from the get-go. The way this list works is that the gems that you need to buy are on the left-hand side, and the right-hand column shows you under what conditions you're going to be replacing these gems. For example, Caustic Arrow is being used in Act 1 prior to obtaining Hollow Palm. Once we obtain Hollow Palm at level 12, we're replacing Caustic Arrow with Smite. We're replacing Maim with Faster Attacks at level 18. We're then replacing Faster Attacks with Trinity support after acquiring Cold Conversion nodes on the tree. We're replacing Dash with Flame Dash at level 10. So this makes it very easy to read exactly what gems you need, but then also when you're going to be replacing them. Each of the Twink PoBs takes Flask nodes on the tree and also incorporates the Nomad belt as a means of bolstering access to Flask uptime. We're also going to be rolling Instilling Orbs on all of our utility flasks so that they're used automatically when we have maximum charges, and then we're going to try and roll the prefix on all of these flasks to be Perpetual Chemists to further serve this goal. Basically, we want to have a 100% uptime on all our utility flasks without ever having to click or micromanage our flasks. We just want them to be passive, kind of simulating the way a mage blood would work. This list up here also shows you when you're going to be replacing each of the flasks that you take in the early acts of the game. So your life flask is never going to get replaced. Your first mana flask is going to be replaced as soon as you obtain mana leech on the tree with a taste of hate. The second mana flask can just get replaced as soon as you obtain a sulfur flask, although at that point it's not doing anything, and one of your quicksilver flasks can be replaced by a silver flask at level 40. The final thing to talk about is the cheat sheet. So let's say you didn't want to watch any of the rest of this video, you don't want to read the notes in the PoB, you don't want to pay attention to anything, you just want to plug and play with the PoB and get going. Read this, right? Just take the time to give this one single read. So start up here, work your way down, then start up here and work your way down. Once you've taken in all this information, you know the totality of all the information contained in this Twink guide, and then you can just play the game. While you're playing the game, if you're unsure about anything, you could just refer back to this, and since it's ordered chronologically, you know vaguely where to look to quickly ascertain what information you want to find out. If you have any further questions at all, hit me up in the comments section below. I'll be reading the comments over the next few days, and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. If you found this video helpful, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.